Greetings, I am Liz.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Woo!
Alrighty.
Yeah! But that's my problem, not yours. Sorry to drop gossip on your head like this. Thanks for hearing me out anyway.
Yay, we have heard them out.
Yes!
Alright, the little movement, that was adorable.
It's so good. I really do like the fact that these are moving, or they actually do have moving characters. I understand that not every game's going to, that's not their aesthetic, not everybody has the time, money, blah blah blah, etc. I totally get it. It is one of those things that sometimes people offer up, and I do apologize sometimes where I guess it seems like if we've ever been really harsh on something like that for another game, but sometimes it's really like, it's such a difference that you just kind of go, God, I wish!
Even just minor changes.
Yeah. Like,
and I'm just gonna dig in hardest going, you could have taken Phoenix's jacket off. You could have done it.
It was
like,
no,
already taken
his jacket and his necklace.
Like his necklace and his jacket, but also like his jacket to show off his arms.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember.
Like it would have been such a thing in My Mystic Dragons. It would have been
so good.
And they'd already, taken one dragon's shirt off.
I know.
So it wouldn't have been hard, and it was such a missed opportunity.
Well, and the thing is also, they didn't even just take off his jacket. They potentially took off his under jacket as well, and they had to take off his ascot and everything. Like, screw that.
Anyway,
all right. Right, let's get back to work, shall we? Now for the less fun part. You seem a strong, strapping kind of person.
Do I?
Well, a strong person, at least. Okay. So this is a question that I have, and I don't know if this is appropriate. I know sometimes series like this always bring up interesting questions for me, especially somebody who identifies as non-binary.
Okay.
But also I recognize just sometimes how much everybody assumes basically a singular binary model.
Right.
And assumes basically that, well, if you're a non-binary also, that includes, you're talking about a trinary model, and that's not true at all for everyone in the slightest.
Right.
But the thing that interests me in games, and I get they're there for usually like entertainment or comfort or whatever else. There's multiple reasons, and some people don't ever address it, but I find it fascinating that nobody yet has made an assumption about our gender.
That one, and that no one's asked our pronouns either that I'm aware of.
And I appreciate that, like, some people really do fucking just love that, and I do not want to take that away from people, but I find it interesting because there still is... Like, because we haven't even asked, like, Naomi their pronouns or anybody else that we've really ever run into.
So one of the things that I think is interesting about games that include non-binary options is, are we assuming that society has a man, woman, and non-binary?
Right.
Because that's what you can choose in the option menu.
Right.
And if that's the case, since generally we've been socialized to know what a man looks like and what a woman looks like, what does non-binary look like? Since your man and woman are essentially they're a biological essentialism division.
Right.
Okay, that's what they are historically. That's what man and woman is. Right. And so since we've all been socialized that that's a biological thing you can recognize, and also there's a level of fashion associated with it, even though it's a wide range.
Oh, yeah, and we also know truly that biological essentialism is a complete bullshit and whatever else, but we do also understand, it's kind of like the concept of race. Race, we know, does not fucking exist.
But
what exists is the concept of people that have of race. Ideas have power. But
and so basically your binary is based on biological essentialism.
And it doesn't make them right, I should say.
It doesn't make it right. It's just that's where the binary comes from.
Yes.
And the thing is it doesn't even work because there's more biology in there, which doctors have argued. However, what does a non-binary look like? If we're identifying on site what people are without asking, my question would be is if you live in a world where there are only 3 genders and non-binary is a gender rather than a pool, then you got to go, okay, what does non-binary look like?
Right.
And that would be my question for, it's cool if it's super socialized and it's very ordinary and stuff, but if no one asks pronouns, is there a visual aesthetic that exists with non-binary or that is expected of non-binary?
Which is actually really interesting because I swear there is an actual real life culture, which I think originates, like, it's either like Thailand or India. There's some culture where they do really talk about there is where they're there, and I apologize, I cannot fucking remember, so this is going to sound awkward. I'm trying to go off of what I remember, where they do talk about there is a manner of dress and basically clothing style and expectation for the way they speak and act that is like, that is a part of the culture, and you go, then what this is.
And as I say,
and the problem that men wear this and women wear this kind of thing.
And the problem that I get basically is going, if there is a clothing style for non-binary, can you not be non-binary if you don't wear it?
Right.
Anyway, let's go ahead.
Anyway, so it's really fascinating. I love games like this. I find it interesting, and it offers up a ton of other questions, but also I'm just curious about them because also living my existence, sometimes that's just what happens. I've gotten misgendered through pretty much my entire life, and that's what happens. You seem a strong, strapping kind of person. Well, a strong person, at least. Well, you're a person. That's enough.
Hi. So, you know how to cook, and I know how to appear human.
Yes!
Yes, we have the skill set we need. Semi-insulted then?
Okay, let's get to it.
All
right, sure.
Back to the arcade.
A little to the left now.
Oh, so we're carrying it back.
My left. You're right. Careful. Now forward, right? Correct. I mean, not to the right. Keep it coming, and there. Carefully, tip it into place. Victory! Woo! Victory!
That's adorable, actually.
That's really cute.
We just moved the arcade cabinet after reassembling it back onto the floor,
That's
and I
adorable.
guess we're gonna plug it in and put it back in service.
Hey, and my question is, where is it?
Yeah, I want to know where
my brain's
it is.
like, which one is it?
I want another one to appear, poof, in the
Right.
empty spot, like between the pinballs and the skee ball.
Right.
Okay, I'll gently ease the rolling dolly forward, the giant wooden box slotting into place alongside its neighbors. The two-wheeled dolly makes it easier, but hardly easy. Especially with Naomi fretting over her baby getting scratched, or worse, falling over. But with the work done, she's all smiles again.
Yeah.
Okay, glad to be done with that one.
Sounds like she's a little bit of a micromanager.
Yeah, she kind of does, but also, again, like, she could really be interesting because she's like, I don't know who you are, I don't know your practices, I don't have a lot of trust for you.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes total sense. The thing is
God,
that she might not be like that once she's comfortable with someone.
Right.
But there's a level of, oh, God, I need to engage a lot.
Right? I swear, I've been working on that monitor for ages. Those tubes are finicky as heck, and I'm still not totally satisfied with the flyback, but... Thanks for helping me out, Liz. I think you're gonna do just great here.
Flyback. What?
Happy...
Yeah, I know, but I heard the sound. I was like, happy to head. Did you like burp or something?
I don't know.
Glurp. Right. Stomach growling, food required, except, okay, that's so loud that it interrupted your speech, and that's a stomach growl?
Yes!
Whoa. You know what? I don't think I've ever had a stomach growl that, like in the way of your stomach growls when it's
your
hungry.
conversation.
That one permeated the conversation, or that was loud enough to interrupt people. Like, the only time my digestive tract has made an amount of noise that was notable to me is when something's wrong. Not hungry, but like, whoa. You are going to be sick soon.
Right? I don't know if I've ever had that either. It's charming, and it's kind of funny, especially with the implied diegetic music in the background.
God,
because that music's really loud.
Uh-huh.
Especially arcades are noisy. Like,
Arcades
damn,
do tend to be
dude.
noisy. Yeah, there's a lot of noise going on in this room. We know that because the games are making noise, and we even described that earlier on.
Right?
Wasn't expecting to actually be working today. Forgot to pack lunch.
You have pizza on a bagel.
Now, I'm just talking here, but if you had pizza on a bagel...
That sounds a little bit random, so I tried to say happy to help, and then I just immediately break into I forgot to bring a lunch.
That was, I'm trying to explain why my stomach is growling.
Okay,
That's what that is. You're fine.
All right. Shh. Hey, so, any good restaurants in walking distance? I think that bookstore next door sells donuts and stuff, but,
no, not really. Unfortunately. I mean, there's cheap web sub sandwich place, but even if that stuff is super tasty, you don't want to go there. You need to eat healthy. Hey, I know. Wait right here.
Web sub is unhealthy, and I need to eat healthy.
You know what?
That's hilarious. I'm like, are you a micromanaging, like, mom? Like, sparkle ball of sunshine? Like, is that your trope?
I mean, so if you know anything about the parody, we actually pointed out when we initially went through our playthrough here going that Subway. It's supposed to be a parody of Subway, and I think the thing is that's actually making a reference to the fact that Subway isn't actually all that healthy in the way that it brands itself.
Because there's so much bread involved.
Right.
Basically. And that a lot of people are like, it's a salad, but it depends on what you put on it.
Right? But also, again, that can be subjective, and a lot of it also depends basically on people's stress levels and
what works well for your your body.
Yeah, like everybody can have a very different experience. You could have some people who are like, I just eat this and I feel great and it's fine. You can really be healthy at a lot.
What do you do? I eat nothing but pasta with cheese on it, and they look amazing and they're very happy.
Yep, and you also run into people who do that and they are incredibly constipated all the time and
they're
very
sad
sick.
and unhappy.
And also a lot of times you at least in my experience too, because it really isn't just about where people go fat equals weight and also that you're just overeat. But
my food experience has always been that food affects me based on my stress level.
Yes.
Where if I'm happy, the food affects me positively, regardless of what I'm eating. And I have super good examples of my experience. And if I'm unhappy, same, regardless. I could be on, a restrictive diet. I could be on calorie control, and it does not go well for me if I'm not happy.
Right.
And so, yeah, anyway. And she's off, scurrying back to her hidey hole. Either that or they're basically going, this is web sub, but it's unhealthy because that's sort of a joke on it.
Right, maybe, yeah.
And she's back, scurrying from her hidey hole, back to out from house.
Lunchtime! Here you go.
She presses a boxed lunch into my hands.
It's a bento box. I learned how to make them from my mom, who learned it from her mom, back when they lived in Japan.
Oh.
Oh.
So you're like maybe like a quarter Japanese?
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe. Or you might have just lived in Japan.
Yeah.
You might not have any ethnic heritage there at all.
Right.
Yep.
Even again though, as some people question,
genetic
going,
heritage, I don't know.
Yeah, right. Well, it's some people have also questioned too of going like if you grow up and you're born and raised in that culture in some way. But, that is a super fucking complex question, and that's why people are like, blood quantums are the worst fucking thing to come out of it, because that was strictly a United States, government designation, and if you're ever involved in blood quantums, they're, based off of the information that I have ever seen from individuals who are, for example, identify as Native American, are like, holy shit, this crap is dumb. Because it is super reductive, and...
It's so much more about your culture. You can be... Yeah. It's like, there are some kids, or people and stuff that talk about how, essentially, their ethnic background has nothing to do with who they are.
Right.
Where they're like, sure, my whole family's Japanese, but it's been 3 generations since anyone was in Japan, so... I'm not Japanese culturally.
Yeah.
And they're like, and I have no awareness of that culture. I'm an American.
Right.
And they're like, and I have Japanese genetics. And it's like, and that can be a difference of opinion, but I mean, a lot of people that I've heard, they're basically like, if you don't have any of the culture, you don't have that thing.
Yeah, you just happen to have a certain physical presentation, and that really seems to fuck with your life, because people go, oh my god, are you a weeb?
Yeah,
and you're
something.
like, fucking hell, come on.
All right, bento box, nice.
Back when they lived in Japan. Rice and pickles and all sorts of good, healthy things. Which,
rice and pickles.
Okay, so I had a Japanese foreign exchange student, and this is not to say that she's the authority or ever was. She had plenty of body issues. But the thing is that I remembered her. She always complained to me a lot about going, Japanese food is so unhealthy, so much salt. And she would go off a lot about basically this. What I found to be sort of frustrating, I felt very sad for her sometimes, of going like, you really have been taught to hate yourself. She's like, my face is really fat, I'm really fat, because of all the salt.
Makes you retain water and makes you fat.
Yeah, and I felt really bad for her a lot.
Anyway, so that is one experience of the bento idea, or of the Japanese food experience.
Right?
On the other hand, you can meet Americans that are, American food is great, American food is the worst food ever, so, it's just a local, an individual opinion.
Right? It's like, honestly...
Also, healthy things are so subjective, and it depends on which science you're reading and whatever, and every year we come out with something new of different body types, or your genetic heritage, or what you're used to eating when you grow up, or nature and nurture all affect how your food experience works, and there is no universal truth.
Right? Well, and it's a very complicated topic, and fuck the BMI, by the way, it's kind of racist, so...
Wait, you're giving me your lunch?
Sure, why not?
What are you gonna eat? And yet, when I first walked in as a stranger, she looked super uncomfortable with me. That, escalated quickly. You're real friendly, aren't you? I mean, I love it. Yes, you asked the question. I asked. Thank you. I love it when games answer the question that immediately pops into my head. It makes me so happy.
Ask the question, not answer the question. Ask the question.
I thought I said ask.
No, you said answer.
Oops. Well, they answer to the question, if
yes.
you will. So they give me the answer that I asked by asking that question.
Right.
Like when my next logical question is, what about this? And then my character asks as well, it makes me so happy.
Right.
What'll you have for lunch then?
Oh, I could just get some nachos from the vending machine or go hit the whole store next door. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway.
So
you can eat something healthy, but I'm gonna go get donuts.
You need to eat healthy.
That's so funny.
Do I look really young to you? Maybe So you think that I need to eat healthy because I'm still growing? Maybe?
Love shit like this, though.
It is so funny. I've seen people, oh my God, you need to take care of yourself. You need to eat healthy. Let me get you some water. Let me get you a salad. Oh my God, just a nice balanced meal. Them chewing on 7 donuts.
Well, and again, the assumption is, though, that that's not healthy, as it were. Now, there's a thing, so we've also encountered information or stories sometimes of going, like, some people literally will just eat oranges and they will gain a ridiculous amount of weight, but that's also for other reasons, not just that, but it's like, all I eat are oranges, why am I unhealthy? And going, like, because you're also eating just oranges.
I say, well, there's this experience that bodies react differently to different things.
Right.
And I don't want to, dig into, weight and fat and food and stuff too much.
Oh, because we're not here to do body shaming and also,
or body addressment or instruction, actually. I would say, basically, but there is the experience that is really different for each individual person.
God, yeah.
And any, this is the way it is. You'll always hear a story of, that didn't happen for this person.
Oh, God, yeah.
And that can be any way you like it.
I also like the one where...
But I find the positive... The warm hypocriticalness of this really, really charming.
It's really charming.
And I always have. I'm not saying any judgment on if they go eat 12 donuts or even just if they're like, nothing but candy bars for me all day. But there's this level of, I want to caretake for you. And I'm going to do it better than I do for
me.
Assumptively myself.
Yeah.
Because you assume what their values are and then what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. There's also the thing, too, so I wanted to point out really fast, I always find it to be really goddamn funny, where people also like telling stories about, how did you get to the age of 110 or 100 and whatever? And they're like, I smoke a cigar every day, and I drink whiskey
every day, a cup of whiskey before I go to bed, and I always eat a whole slab of bacon,
And you're like... What? And again, this is what I say, body shit is, for the most part, is a lot of gatekeeping and controlling, and you really need to spend time with someone and listen to yourself.
It's also a massive industry, so if you're in capitalism and they're trying to sell you something, then you have to, there's a motivation to examine as well.
There really is, for sure. Oh, I could just give notches. I've got a book delivery to pick up anyway.
All right, but you said eating healthy was... important for you.
See you after lunch.
That's adorable. Bye!
Yeah.
I can't help but think she was just looking for an excuse to go get some junk food instead.
Honestly, you have not had many varieties of nachos. They have some fucking amazing nachos.
Some of them are just a full-ass complete meal.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'd say Naomi definitely fits in with Francine's ideals for this arcade. She's got a love for these games, and it shows. Yeah, I'll just go there, because I can't even understand that exchange with food.
Right.
I mean, and giving me her lunch, me, a total stranger, that's a kindness I don't know if I deserve, but I appreciate it all the same. So, bento box. I've only seen these in anime. I love that. That makes me so happy.
Yes.
It's, cute, and hopefully has plenty of calories, too, because,
I am hungry.
one, hungry, and two, I really engage. I'm with a box of health food, I think. I retire to the employee lounge to get my munch on. That's adorable.
That's so cute.
I am very charmed by that.
I love it.
Penguin there, baby. The room where I had my bizarre job interview will suffice for food times. It's not much, a few folding chairs and a kitchenette, but it'll do. I assume that is the lunchroom, though. I don't think you're supposed to be eating anywhere else, especially given, the napkin dispenser.
Uh-huh.
And, if there is a kitchenette in here, it implies lunchroom,
Yeah.
And the vending machine and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going with a level of, it's good enough, and I'm like, but it seems like it is the designated place as well.
Francine also specifically said this is the employee area, so you want to eat here.
I think we're just feeling insecure in this moment.
It also could be some people go, well, you eat outside.
Oh,
that
kind
of
of
mentality.
Thing, right? So this is good enough because I'm not going to go, eat outside. Utterly famished by this point because I kind of skipped breakfast. I have a seat and unpack my lone lunch. Whoa!
Wow!
Mascot! Holy crap!
Wow!
How
you actually jumped!
How did I not see that when I walked into the lunchroom? Coherent screaming. I think coherent screaming?
What?
Like, holy hell. I opened my mouth as wide as I could and let the fear fall from my lips. My mind devoid of any emotion but horror. Holy, also where they chose to put the eye holes is a whole ass trip.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to make up a voice for this because for right now I do not know what they sound like. Whoa, it's fun. Everything's gonna be fun. You're adorable. I'm a real human being, I promise. It's just a costume.
Hey, so, I'm sorry if I traumatized you.
More nasal.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Can we start over, maybe?
Uh-huh. I nod my head again. How did I not see you when I walked in? Were you under the table? Were you like behind the fridge? You rising up out of the depths was
true
wild.
Hunger. True focused hunger.
All I saw was the bento box in my hand. Okay, reasonable.
Yes.
Reasonable.
I have done dumb shit like that.
You're just right in that room, and then you look up, and suddenly you're an inch from somebody. Like, holy shit, where did you come from? They're like, you walked up to me, bro. All right, fair. I nod my head slowly, although that could just be muscle spasms from being in shock.
I'm Ashley.
You're adorable.
And Liz.
I'm also Pinky, the Funplex Flamingo. It's my secret, yet not so secret identity.
Having been a puppet mascot for one of my summer jobs, that's very cute.
That is really cute.
All right. What the Funplex? What now?
What the Funplex? What now?
What the Funplex? What now?
All right, well, we're going to deal with Ashley then in the next one. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, then, for joining us. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos if you're having a good time with us. Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi or Patreon. I got the link description down below. And I have been Scandal.
And I have been Liz. And it was great playing with you. Bye!